Good morning, Tiago.
Hi.
So, how's it going?
What? Say it again.
I asked how's it
I
going?
want you to send me the documents now because I'll start my presentation, so I need to.
Have you ever been in a situation where the other person thought you were being impolite when that really wasn't your intention? Or perhaps you've never been in that situation, but you'd like to avoid it. You might be wondering, why do I need to learn how to be polite in English? Well, learning how and when to use polite English might help you avoid uncomfortable situations and might even make you more successful in academic and business settings. In today's lesson, we'll help you learn more about polite English so that you don't make the same mistakes Tiago did. We'll look at why politeness matters, how you can be more polite in English, and we'll also do a quiz to see how polite you are. But before we get started, if you're new here, welcome. Every week we create lessons like this to help English learners go from feeling like lost and insecure English learners to being confident and natural English speakers. If that sounds like something you want to do, then join our community of over 370,000 learners by hitting that subscribe button and bell down below so you never miss out on any of our new lessons. Polite English. Why does it matter? When we're hanging out with our friends and family, we often use informal English, which is usually less polite than the English used in business situations or when we're trying to show respect. For example, if you made a mistake at work, you might say to your boss, "I would like to apologize for any inconvenience caused." On the other hand, if you made a mistake with your friends and family, you might just say, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that." One of the main reasons polite English is so important is that it's often seen as a sign of respect towards the other person. You can use this when you're at work, at school, or meeting new people. You'll also appear more professional and likable, which could lead to more success at school or work. Okay, so let's move on to how can you be more polite in English? So you might already know the basics like saying please and thank you. But there's more to being polite than that. Let's start by learning from Tiago's mistakes. Tip number 1. Body language. Whether you're on a call or face-to-face, when it comes to being polite, your body language, tone, and attitude are all important. Many experts agree that 60 to 90% of our communication is non-verbal, which means that it's not just what you say, but how you say it that matters. In Western countries, including the UK and US, maintaining eye contact with the speaker shows that you are interested in what they're saying. This also includes listening and not interrupting the speaker. Mirroring is also a good way of communicating politeness and agreement during a conversation. To mirror means to copy or have similar body language to the other person. This usually puts the speaker at ease and shows them that you are on the same page emotionally. For example, if they smile and seem enthusiastic, you could smile too. However, if they seem sad, it might seem rude if you start laughing and being playful. If you'd like to practice your body language and mirroring, why not do so with a speaking partner? And you can find one using our Real Life English app. This is the only place where anytime, anywhere, at the press of a button, you can connect with other English learners from around the world. You can have fascinating conversations about your hobbies, your passions, your culture, even the latest real-life English lessons. You could talk about absolutely anything. So download it now for free by clicking up here or down in the description below, or visit your favorite app store and search for Real Life English. Tip number 2, use questions instead of statements. Instead of telling someone to do something, you can turn your statement into a question. Using questions makes you sound nicer and more considerate of the other person. Even if you need something done right away, making it a question will make the other person more willing to help. Also, pay attention to your tone when making requests. If you want to sound more polite, you can use the rising tone in your request for help in some of your sentences and questions. Most likely, if it's a request, it will end in please, which must be pronounced with a rising tone. Instead of say it again, you could say, could you repeat that please? Or could you say that again, please? Tip number 3, use modal verbs to soften requests. I've already mentioned that using questions is more polite than using statements. However, questions can be made even more polite with the use of modal verbs. Modal verbs such as would, could, should, shall, and might make any question or statement sound more polite. Instead of, I want the stapler, you could say, I would like the stapler, please. Before you continue watching, why not pause the video and let us know down in the comments if you would like to learn more about modal verbs. Share your answer below and don't forget to add an encouraging message to the other members of the community. So those tips were related to the mistakes Thiago made, but here are a few more. Tip number 4, add some explanation. When you're communicating at work or school, it's often a good idea to add an explanation. If you're asking someone to do something for you or you're explaining a problem, people often feel better when they know a few details. To add your explanation, you can use words or phrases like so, because, therefore, or that's why. Instead of saying, finish this presentation by tomorrow, you could say, the client is coming tomorrow, so I would like you to finish the presentation by then. Instead of saying, I didn't want to go to your party, you could say, I didn't want to go to your party because I was really sick. Tip number 5, use the passive voice. When something goes wrong at work or in a formal setting, the passive voice becomes very important. This is great for polite English because you can address a problem or issue without directly putting the blame on a particular person. This will definitely save you from seeming mean. Instead of, Joe gave me the wrong information, you can say, I was given the wrong information. Instead of saying, Sue broke the computer so I couldn't complete my work, you could say, the computer was broken so I couldn't complete my work. Tip number 6, use common polite phrases. Here are a few polite phrases that you can use at work or in formal situations when dealing with a problem. Instead of saying, I already told you this, you could say, as I mentioned previously. Instead of saying, you must do this, you could say, thanks in advance for your help. Now, let's do a quick quiz to see if you're able to spot which of these sentences is polite and which isn't. Please don't be late tomorrow. It would be great if you could get here on time tomorrow. This would depend on your tone, but despite the word please, it still sounds too direct and might imply that you think the person is often late. I'd love to help you, but right now I'm quite busy. No, I can't help you with that. This is too direct. Explaining why the answer is no might help you sound more polite. Give me an answer by tomorrow. Could you give me an answer by tomorrow, please? This sounds very demanding. It helps to turn the statement into a question and use modal verbs, and in this case, we'd use could. The client was unhappy with Tom's presentation. The client was unhappy with the presentation. In formal and business situations, blaming someone for the problem is impolite. The passive voice is a way to avoid naming the subject. Did you get all of the answers correct? If not, don't worry, you can always watch this lesson again and retake the test. To recap, here are the tips we covered in today's lesson. Tip number 1, body language is an important part of being polite. Tip number 2, Use questions instead of statements. Tip number 3, use modal verbs to soften requests. Tip number 4, add some explanation to your statements. Tip number 5, use the passive voice. Tip number 6, use some common polite phrases. Also, if you have any questions about today's lesson, head over to our Instagram at reallife.english. Be sure to check out our stories every Monday and Friday. You'll find a question box where you can share your thoughts or questions about the lesson. Be sure to follow us on Instagram so you can continue your learning with us. If you enjoyed today's lesson, then be sure to watch this one next. Well, learning how to use phrasal verbs is just what you need to solve this problem, as it will help you sound more natural and conversational. So in today's lesson, we'll focus on common phrasal verbs that you can use in your daily life, so you no longer have to use the same old boring phrases over and over again. To help you remember them easily, I'll demonstrate them around